Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here. Welcome back to my channel. Thought I'd show you all this little fella, and this time we've got a Chinese foot trap. It's a leg hold trap. It's a bit of a different take to the Fenn trap that's readily available over here in the UK, and it's also a little bit different to the Bear 110, that type of thing. So I just thought, I've got one of these things, so I thought I'd quickly give you all a quick look around it. So I'm going to lay it down on the log here and bring you in close for a proper look round. Stay with me. Okay, what we've got here is a small foot trap, animal foot trap. It has a plate trigger mechanism. It's very simple. It operates using two, I'll use my pointer stick here, there are these two outer pieces of wire are directly attached to the spring mechanism underneath. Flip this over and show you. So what we have here are four quite powerful springs, a centre piece of spring steel, but each one of those four springs, as you can see here, power the left and right engine bars respectively. That's what provides the power. The actual mechanism itself, we have two outer loops of wire which form the basis of the clamp, and once this thing is triggered, as you've seen hopefully in the beginning of the video, it is quite powerful. You do have to be careful with this, especially single-handed like I am at the moment. Let's just try and do this without smashing my fingers to bits again. There we go, just ease it up there. As you can see, once it's been activated, the powered wires close the leg grip, so you've got a pretty much a square knot, if you like, so anything caught in that isn't going anywhere. Now the trigger itself is this simple pin, and once you've opened the four wire legs, this pin sits under this little wire loop on the base of the trigger plate. This loop here, incidentally, whilst it's in camera shot, is just a way you get supplied with a bit of Bowden cable, a way of obviously securing that to the ground. Obviously you drive a stake in the ground, tie this off through that loop so the critter can't escape. That's basically what that little fella's for. So to set it, the instructions say that you should use your feet to force these two powered wire loops apart, and then allowing the inner wire traps to be opened and set. However, doing it with your foot, although that's the safest way, isn't always the easiest way. So what I'm going to do now is move you back a little ways. I'm going to show you how to set this and some do's and don'ts, because it is quite a powerful trap and you can get yourself some quite decent injuries off this if it goes off on your fingers, so stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So this is how to set this trap. As previously explained, these two wire loops here are the engine that provide the power for this trap, and the inner loops are the actual holding bar. So first and foremost, we spread the two powered engine loops out. I don't know if this is picking up, so that's going to go in an outward direction. And I'll just start again. When you're doing this, you have got to be careful. There's a lot of sharp unfinished edges on these traps, and then I'm just opening the inner loops out now. So now I can just hold all that open now with one hand comfortably. And then once you've opened the wire loops out, there's a little latch loop here, safety, that goes on to set the trap. That's set but not armed. To arm it, we use the little trip pin, which then goes over the outer loop. You have to compress it down a little bit more. Be careful and mindful to keep your finger on the safety piece of wire. You don't want it coming off at this point, as you're going to get smacked across the fingers with this thing. So try and do them both together, and then we push down and lift the trigger plate up. Keep that safety loop on, and that's now set, other than removing the safety loop. So keeping it in a vertical position so the loop doesn't fall off of its own accord. Keep your finger on the back of that loop, and now you safely, gently place that on the ground on your intended area of entrapment, and then using a stick, keep your fingers away from it at this point, remove the safety loop. Should just fall off nice and easily, like so, and that trap is now set. So obviously just bring on the stick here, the little would-be critter will come along, knock the pin out of the loop on the back of the base plate, activating the grip trap. So hopefully, as you can see, it's quite powerful, and it really has got a hold of that. If I just pull out now that joint, and I'm not playing here, that is in tight. That really had hold of that. In fact, it's taken the bark off. So they are effective, they're very good. The other thing also is this little loop. That is a retainer basically. It comes supplied with a little, piece of Bowden cable that you drive a stake in the ground, put that through, tie it off with a loop, obviously to stop the critter thrashing about, making escape with a trap on its foot. So I thought I'd quickly show you this little one. It's the Chinese take of the Fenn trap, if you like, or the 110 Connie Bear. It's very similar. It is similar in some respects. It does the same type of thing, but it's probably more fiddly to set, to be honest. But they are cheap. These come from wish.com, yet again the Chinese website. They're about £4 each. Would I recommend it? Yes, if you've used traps before. They are quite fiddly to set. If you haven't used traps before, they're not the best one to, I don't know, learn your trade, because you will come unstuck if you're not careful. Anyway, hope you find some of this useful. Take care out there. Have a great weekend. See you all soon. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah. Just wanted to do a quick little footnote at the end of my trap video, and that is basically a bit of a legal disclaimer. Over here in the UK, if you're using any type of trap like this Fenn 4 or Fenn 6, or I think I've got one of them kicking about somewhere, or this Chinese foot hold trap, or the Connie Bear trap, or anything of that nature, you should always house these within an appropriate sized box or cage for the intended quarry that you intend to catch, so that only that creature can enter and get caught. A creature which is on the recognised vermin list as well. So let's keep it legal and safe, and so that basically is so that the traps aren't indiscriminate. If you leave one of these set anywhere, you can catch a massive variety of different animals. Some are not on the vermin list. You could catch domestic creatures, pets, which is just a big no-no. You shouldn't do it. Or game that is too big for that trap, and all you're going to do is cause that creature unnecessary suffering. And that being said, our reputation as outdoors people, let's be responsible and take ownership of what we do. Let's adhere to the law. They're there for a reason. Let's not cause animals unnecessary suffering, and let's be seen to be responsible. Let's keep this hobby of ours as free as it can be in this already over-regulated country of ours, basically. So let's play the game. Always enclose these in the appropriate box or tunnel. Read up on them at all times, and seek best advice. If you're not sure and new to this game, go and have a chat with a gamekeeper or somebody that's familiar with trapping and the do's and don'ts, the bylaws, etc. Keep your game in order. Let's do it right, and never leave any trap set. Like I show figure 4 traps, deadfall traps, the Paiute deadfall, snares, sprung loaded traps, you name it. We can do the whole plethora of traps. Never leave them set as they are indiscriminate. It isn't right. It isn't. It's just immoral. So let's be responsible for our actions. So the only exception to this rule is, as my channel's name suggests, a survival situation. If you are in a true survival, last-ditched attempt situation, then the law will protect you in using that method. However, if you're only practicing bushcraft, please stay within the guidelines of the law and let's do it safely. Thank you all very much for watching again anyway. Take care out there. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah!